Trip ideas. Romantic getaways. Whether you're popping the question, celebrating an anniversary, or just looking to spend some quality time with your significant other, the right setting is crucial. To inspire you, we've rounded up the most romantic places across the country: scenic state parks with beautiful proposal-worthy backdrops, romantic urban escapes for those looking to enjoy city sights, and quirky attractions where you're sure to create lifelong memories. Best tourist destination: Niagara Falls, New York. Underrated hidden gem: the Kissing Bridges of Park County, Indiana. Best for a weekend getaway: Savannah's River Street, Georgia. Alabama, Chehaw State Park. Alaska, Kenai Fjords National Park. Arizona, Emerald Cave. Black Canyon, best explored by kayak, is home to a hidden cave where the water inside glows a brilliant green. This gem on the Colorado River and the Arizona-Nevada border is about an hour's drive from Las Vegas. A paddle through the canyon makes for a magical and memorable photo opportunity, and it's especially perfect for couples who want to cozy up in a tandem kayak. Arkansas, Whitaker Point. This perilous rock located deep in the Ozarks is one of the most photographed sites in Arkansas. The outcropping, also named Hawksbill Crag for its shape, lets visitors, quite literally, live on the edge, creating a fantastic backdrop for anyone planning a sweeping declaration of their love. Colorado, Bishop Castle. When you are in love, it feels like there's nothing you can't do, even construct the country's largest self-built castle. Jim Bishop started constructing this 160-foot-tall fortress in 1969 when he and his wife needed a place to live. Today, it's become a unique tourist attraction in the mountains an hour and a half south of Colorado Springs, as well as a stunning feat of perseverance. Connecticut, Saybrook Breakwater Lighthouse. Just the notion of a lighthouse, a beacon in the dark, maybe with a snug room inside, is romantic. And while the Saybrook Breakwater Lighthouse on the Connecticut coast may not have the stripes of some of its counterparts, the 1886 structure is still operational today. The best way to see it, from the outside only, is by renting a boat for two and rowing out into the Connecticut River. Florida, downtown St. Augustine. Golden sand beaches, hundreds of years of history, and great year-round weather make St. Augustine a popular destination among Floridians and tourists alike. The historic downtown is packed with restaurants, bars, and shops, making it an ideal place for a date night. Georgia, Savannah's River Street. Couples looking for an urban escape can take a romantic stroll along River Street in Savannah. The historic waterfront stretch is constructed from 200-year-old cobblestones and is chock full of cute restaurants, bars, galleries, and shops, all offering spectacular views of the Savannah River and docking cargo ships. Hawaii, Bupe, Sweetheart Rock. Located off the Hawaiian island of Lanai, Bupe, also known as Sweetheart Rock, may be right up your alley if you're into darkly romantic stories about star-crossed lovers. While the legend of the princess and warrior who spent their lives here ultimately ended in tragedy, you can write a new love story of your own as you watch the sun set behind the rock with your partner. Illinois, 360 Chicago. There's no more awe-inspiring experience in Illinois than looking over the skyline of Chicago, and the best place to do it is at 360 Chicago, the 94th floor observation deck in the former John Hancock Center. Unusual for such a popular tourist attraction, 360 comes with a swanky bar, Cloud Bar, that's genuinely considered one of the city's best. Sip a drink 1,030 feet up with your sweetie and you'll feel on top of the world. Kansas, Monument Rocks. For couples committed to the longevity of their love, Monument Rocks provides an awe-inspiring comparison point. The chalk monoliths, sometimes called the natural Stonehenge, were formed from the erosion of an ancient seabed, and they've stood together for 80 million years, just like you and your sweetie plan to do. Kentucky, Cumberland Falls. Known as the Niagara of the South, Cumberland Falls in southern Kentucky is impressive at all hours of the day, but it's particularly special at night during full moons. This is the only time a unique natural phenomenon called a moonbows occurs, during which a fantastic lunar rainbow spreads across the water, adding to the area's romantic charm. Louisiana, New Orleans City Park. With its anything-goes atmosphere, dreamy architecture, and world-class food, New Orleans always makes for a great couples trip. The city's most romantic destination, though, isn't its tourist core but the lesser-known city park. Step off the beaten path here and get lost together among the park's rows of old oak trees and its picturesque stone bridge. The park is also home to the New Orleans Museum of Art and the New Orleans Botanical Garden, which offer even more opportunities for romantic strolls. The 10 best hotels in New Orleans, Maine, Isle Haute. Couples who want to spend time with each other and only each other should plan an escape to one of Maine's most secluded islands. Isle Haute has a total population of under 100 people and requires visitors to ferry over on a mail boat. About half the island consists of national parkland, while the other half belongs to the community, complete with a few charming bed and breakfasts. Massachusetts, Boston's Public Garden. In the heart of historic Boston, the Victorian-style Public Garden is the perfect place for a stroll, bike ride, or picnic. You'll see swans, both real and in sculpted paddleboat form, and plenty of scenery at this destination, which was established in 1837 as the first public botanical garden in the U.S. to maximize the romantic vibes. Book a stay at the Four Seasons Boston, which overlooks the park and was renovated in 2023 with an earth tone design scheme inspired by the garden itself. Minnesota, Split Rock Lighthouse. The coastline along Lake Superior was once called the most dangerous piece of water in the world by novelist James Oliver Curwood in 1905. One single storm along the rocky coast caused 29 shipwrecks. After that, Congress paid for a lighthouse and fog signal to be installed here, which came to be known as the Split Rock Lighthouse. The state park it's part of, an hour's drive from Duluth, also offers visitors opportunities for cross-country skiing, beachside walks, and taking in impressive views of the lake. Montana, Lake McDonald. Your love deserves the trip to Glacier National Park's Lake McDonald, where below the surface of the water, vibrantly colored pebbles create a walkable mosaic. These unique pebbles were formed by glaciers, as were many of the impressive cliffs and waterfalls nearby. Nebraska, Valentine National Wildlife Refuge. Spend Valentine's Day, or any other romantically meaningful day, in Valentine, Nebraska, a town that loves to play up its lovey-dovey name. Besides the plethora of heart-shaped memorabilia you'll find throughout Valentine, there's also an impressive national wildlife refuge that spreads over 70,000 acres. Designated by the Audubon Society as an important bird area, it makes a perfect destination for outdoorsy couples. New Hampshire, Lincoln Ice Castles. The ice castles, located near Lincoln, New Hampshire, have become known for the otherworldly glow they give off at night. The frozen structures, which look like something straight out of a certain Disney movie, are built from scratch each winter, and come springtime, they melt away. Visit in January for the best chance of enjoying these beauties in optimal wintry weather. Courtesy of Rutgers, the State University of New Jersey. College sweethearts can spend their time at Rutgers Passion Puddle, the site of legendary collegiate romance lore. According to Rutgers tradition, anyone who walks around the pond 3 times with their lover will marry them, so be sure that your pond-side strolling is done with the right person. New Mexico, Dwan Light Sanctuary. The Dwan Light Sanctuary in Las Vegas, New Mexico, about an hour's drive from Santa Fe, will have guests seeing their partner in a whole new light. The site is equal parts art installation and scientific feat, consisting of an empty white space that fills with rainbows each day as the sun shines through 12 large prisms in the building's apses. The sanctuary was designed as a refuge from the pace, conflicts, and anxieties of daily living and is the perfect destination for couples looking to relax and reflect. New York, Niagara Falls. Thanks to its popularity among newly-wedded travelers from all corners of society, Niagara Falls has been known as the honeymoon capital of the world since the early 19th century. Join in this couple's trip tradition on a visit with your partner, where you can marvel at Niagara's thundering waterfalls. There are technically 3, and enjoy the region's impressive array of wineries, B&Bs, and other attractions. There's more to the Niagara Falls region than the iconic waterfall. Here's how to plan the perfect trip. North Carolina, Highlands. As the setting for nearly all of Nicholas Sparks' novels, North Carolina is full of romantic spots. The dreamiest of all, though, is the town of Highlands, one of the most romantic places in the U.S., located near the Georgia and South Carolina borders. Boutique properties like Half Mile Farm offer suites and cottages perfect for loved-up couples, while the surrounding Blue Ridge Mountains are bursting with unforgettable views. North Dakota, Theodore Roosevelt National Park. Derkonschutz, Getty Images. Couples who love wide open spaces can head to Theodore Roosevelt National Park, where the Great Plains meet the Badlands. Come nightfall, the park offers an impressive view of the stars. It's possible to spot the Milky Way, the Andromeda Galaxy, and even the Northern Lights when weather conditions are good. During the daytime, make a stop to hike through the naturally colorful Painted Canyon or drive the Theodore Roosevelt Scenic Byway. Ohio, Crystal Cave. Rosarine Betancourt 8, Alamy. Those planning on popping the question can do so here with the aid of a larger-than-life stone. Crystal Cave is not a cave in the traditional sense, but rather the interior of the world's largest geode, discovered in 1897 by workers who were building a well. Today, you can tour the inside of the geode, whose walls are lined with crystals as big as 18 inches in length, on a visit to Heinemann's Winery. The winery, located on the Lake Erie Island town of Put-in-Bay, has offered tours of the cave on their property for more than 100 years. Oregon, Thor's Well. Declare your love at one of the most epic landscapes on the West Coast. Thor's Well looks like a powerful sinkhole in the ocean, so much so that it's sometimes referred to as the drain pipe of the Pacific. In fact, the landmark is an optical illusion, where a 20-foot depression in the rock creates the appearance of a sinkhole. Still, the well certainly seems bottomless, just like your love for your partner. Pennsylvania, the Poconos. Like Niagara Falls, the Pocono Mountains have a long history as an American honeymoon icon. Newlyweds have flocked to the region for centuries due to its stunning natural beauty, and the mountains are packed with adults-only resorts. Stay at Cove Haven in Lakeville for a dose of kitschy, vintage romance. One room has a hot tub in the shape of a giant champagne coupe, and two have heart-shaped whirlpools. Rhode Island, Mohegan Bluffs. A stroll along Mohegan Bluffs on Block Island is one of the most dramatic walks available in the Ocean State. The bluffs stand 200 feet above the beach and, on a clear day, provide views straight across the Block Island Sound to Montauk, New York. After a stroll, check out the picturesque lighthouses that dot Block Island. 34 best things to do in Rhode Island, from stunning beaches to historic mansions. South Carolina, Pitt Street Bridge. About a 15-minute drive from Charleston in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, this bridge turn park is a lovely place to visit as a couple. Take your honey for a waterfront evening stroll among the palmetto trees in this neck of the woods. It doesn't get more romantic than that. Tennessee, Great Smoky Mountains National Park. If love keeps lifting you higher, head to the highest point in all of Tennessee. At 6,643 feet, Clingman's Dome offers some of the best views in the southeast, and it's a highlight of the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Continue your outdoorsy date in this popular park with a waterfall hike or a scenic train ride. Texas, San Antonio River Walk. A stroll along the San Antonio River Walk is a romantic way to spend a day in this charming Texas city. Find a spot to have dinner on the water, or grab an ice cream cone and enjoy the sights on a nice day. Also along the river are the Briscoe Western Art Museum, with art and artifacts from the American West, and La Villita, a historic district featuring quaint plazas and eclectic buildings housing dozens of shops and galleries. There are also regular events throughout the year, like craft evenings, concerts, and dance parties. Utah, Delicate Arch. Love is powerful, but it can sometimes be delicate, and you can marvel at a similarly fragile treasure at Arches National Park. Although this geologic feature is now widely known as Delicate Arch, it's also been called many other colorful names, like Cowboys Chaps and Old Maids Bloomers. Virginia, Natural Bridge. Virginia is for lovers, goes the saying, and the dramatic arch of this landmark near Roanoke makes it a perennially popular spot for couples photo shoots. The 215-foot tall rock tunnel is the main event here, but Natural Bridge is more than just a geologic formation. It's also the name of the surrounding state park and the neighboring town, giving visitors here the chance to enjoy hiking, stargazing, and a stay at one of the area's charming B&Bs. West Virginia, Lindy Point. Couples who love the outdoors will find much to enjoy in West Virginia. The state is packed with romantic vistas, but arguably the best one can be found at Lindy Point in Blackwater Falls State Park. On the rim of Blackwater Canyon,